Today on the Random Junk channel, I'm going to show you how to make a little campfire. Well, let me rephrase that. Make it light up. These came from Temu. These are little campfires that are just solid plastic on the bottom. And I wanted a campfire too for my village. So I drilled one out just to see what it would look like. And here's what it looks like with the orange flame. And here's what it looks like with a yellow flame. So it's a little bit brighter. All I'm going to show you how to do is basically I'm going to link where to get the lights from, and just search on Temu or Amazon if you want to pay a little bit more for diorama campfires, because it's listed as diorama campfires on Temu. And you can touch up the paint on these if you'd like. You can make the logs darker so the light doesn't shine through. But these are relatively simple to do. All you need is 2 drill bits and a drill. So I'm going to turn the lights on. Like that. Now what I did is, on my first one, which is right there, I kept doing the depth, and then I marked my drill bit. Right there, you can probably see the black maybe. It's a 1/2 inch. So if you do buy these exact ones from Temu as an example, it's a 1/2 inch depth. And then all I did was find the center. Do it slowly. I have my drill set on number 1, so you don't twist it in your hands. Find the center, eyeball it. You are going to have to stop occasionally to get the plastic off. That way you can see your mark. There you go. So what that does is that makes it the size of the LED head. Now we need this base to countersink so it sits somewhat flush. So that's where the second drill bit comes in. And just so you know, the second drill bit is a 1/4 inch and the first drill bit is 3/16. And then same thing, but you got to hold it tighter because it's going to grab. Knock the stuff out, and now your LED can recess inside, and then you can do that. So like I said, this is a relatively quick how-to. I don't do a lot of crafting stuff. I just do repairs, but this is how I do some of the stuff in my village. So my LED is loose inside the connector. There we go. But this is the orange flicker, and this is the yellow flicker, which is brighter. So depending on the tone of the fire you're going for, I should put them side by side just to get a comparison. Now what I don't have for you, and I just recommend that you Google it using an LED calculator, is the resistor you need. And the reason being is you cannot send 4.5 or 3 volts to these things without frying them, or anything higher like 12 volts. But there are LED calculators, and maybe I can find one and link it below for you so you can figure out what LED resistor you need to, here we go. Apparently the jaw doesn't close anymore. So you can hook it up into your village on one of your power supplies. So There they are next to each other. Let me zoom down, wherever my zoom is. My viewfinder broke, so it's my oversized viewfinder broke, so it's taking me a second here. So you can see much deeper color. It's even deeper than what you see on the camera, and a nice yellow color, which is a couple of shades different than the camera. But these are again for Temu. I think they were 99 cents or $1.09 for 5 of them. And what I plan on doing with them is just touching up the logs, because I can see the fire through the log. So I was thinking about touching up the ends and the sides with a little brown paint, dry brush technique. You can even add streaks to the fire if you're one of those crafty people, like Carl from Halloween Villages by Carl, and make the fire look more realistic with, you know, some colored streaks in the flame or shadowing of the flame. But I have a scene in my village that has a fire that I made, and it didn't look as good as I wanted. So I wanted to try this, and this looks decent. So I think this will be a good replacement. And it's a 5-pack, that's how they come. So if you want to do a couple of different techniques, hell, maybe try a different color. Maybe, let's see, do I have a different color in here? Yeah. Let me try and do this on camera. This is UV. Ooh, UV makes the fire really bright. It's actually brighter than, yeah, you can tell, because the UV is reacting with the plastic, but it creates a hot spot on the back side. I mean, look at that. I think this is a flasher, so this one probably won't do any good. Oh no, it's just a smaller flicker. Now, if you decide to go with a smaller LED, these are 5mm, just so you know, you would have to use a smaller drill bit. So these are smaller LEDs. This is a pink LED. The pink LED actually is kind of in between the yellow and the orange, but it doesn't flicker, so it's just a solid fire. But you can get flicker LEDs in different colors. I just have them in yellow and orange, and I do that because fire is yellow and orange. You can get flicker LEDs in red and blue. They're a little harder to find, but it gives you options out there. So like I said, this was just a really short video on how you can take cheap plastic things from like Temu and incorporate them into your village and even make them light up. So, but I will link an LED calculator below so you can calculate the resistance needed. So if you have a 4.5 volt power supply, one of those 3-headed ones as an example, you can put a connector on it and plug it into your stuff. Or if you're Department 56 and you have the 3-volt battery pack or the 3-volt AC adapter, same thing. Just so you know, because this one's running off my power supply, this is 2.3 volts. This LED is rated 2.0 to 2.3. So that's the maximum I can run that LED before I start to burn it out. So if I lower the orange down to 2, too far. There you go. It's dimmer. So it's like a fire that's starting to die. But because of the height of the flames, I probably would go with the brighter at the end of its spectrum like that, because it looks better. So, but anyhow, these are rated for 2 to 2.3 volts. So you would have to run an LED resistor or a basic resistor. Or you can even buy them pre-made online. I've seen them pre-made, but they're mostly made for 12 volt, which means you need a 12 volt power supply, which some of the houses, especially in Department 56 and Lemax, come in 12 volt. Mr. Christmas, as an example, their power supplies range from For DC, 6 to 8 is the common. On AC, it goes all the way up to 120, just like Mr. Department 56. But you don't want to run these on AC. You can. They're going to flicker funny if you do. If you do have an AC adapter that's AC to AC, you'd have to run a rectifier. And those aren't very expensive. It's just more to add to the circuit. It's just easier to get a power supply from an old house and then put a resistor in it. Or you could have this hooked up to a button cell battery, one of those lithiums. But mine's just done off a 9-volt with a resistor. I'm going to zoom back out. You can see right there. So that's just a 9-volt with a resistor right here, then there. And that's just how I test LEDs, because when you buy a baggie of them, sometimes they don't all work. You don't want to stick them into a project and not have them work, take the project back apart. So it's just an LED tester with a 9-volt battery. So hopefully this was somewhat informative. And if you decide to buy a diorama fire kit from Temu or other, maybe this will give you some ideas for your village. Anyhow, I'm going to clean this up and we're going to get on to a repair. So see you in the next one.